What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. Thank you very much for your patience for the start. I'm your host, Kyle. With me is Steven. Got a lot to get into today surrounding Romeo Lavia, Levi Colwill, Thiago, and tons of other news. Thank you to everyone tuning in. First off, Steve, how you doing this morning?
I am lovely. No complaints, really. Um, getting off to a late start here. Not ideal.
Nature calls.
Yeah, well, thank you for everyone that's stuck around.
Yeah.
Lots to cover today. Happy Sunday. My wife's birthday.
Shout out to your wife. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to her. Yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's do it. Who's in the chat? What do we got? Ryan
Ryan
Ross.
Johnston, Ross, Steven's in here as well. No kidding. Tom Smith, Doug. My dad's in here. My mom's in here. Shout out to everyone, guys. Look, let's chat about Romeo Lavia, right? So
You forgot Dermot. Hey,
Dermot skipped over Dermot. My bad, Dermot. So essentially, what happened? Kefren Turam was the target. In midweek, we had learned that we're not going after him anymore, whether the price was too high or whatever. And kind of because he was the same kind of player that Szoboszlai and McAllister were, box-to-box midfield guy. So Lavia, I guess, is more of a defensive, deep-lying midfielder. And so the attention shifted to him. But what bothers me is that a lot of the reports are saying that the price was too high. That's why we didn't go for Turam. But Lavia is more. So to me, the price thing doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think the deal kind of fell apart. Well, we obviously are talking to a bunch of different people right now. I think Nice just needed to shit or get off the pot, and they didn't. So we moved forward with Dom, and who appears to be a more polished player at this point, anyways. And you're right, Turam is a blend of probably the two, McAllister and Dom, to an extent. To an extent. So the Lavia thing, I don't see us paying 50 million for him. Like, I think if that deal's going to go through, we're going to work some magic and get him for like 35 plus add-ons in our typical
from
range.
relegated Southampton. That's a lot.
It is. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a $50 million player, considering what Mason Mount just went for.
Yeah.
Right? What was that? 55 and then add-ons or something, give or take?
Yeah. And the wages he's on?
Yeah, Lavia is not that caliber of player yet. But maybe they see something in him where they can polish him up. Klopp can do that with anyone. So we'll see.
It's nuts to me that Lavia is the guy that we're being linked with. But because I think he was at City, right? And then City sold him to Southampton or whatever. But regardless, 50 million? Come on.
It's too much.
That's way too much money.
And then there's also the other links we have, of course. Then there's the Real Madrid stuff. So to be honest, right now I have no idea what we're doing. But I know we're going to make at least one more, maybe two more signings. It's just we got to get it done quickly, something, because we're getting towards the finish line of, full-blown preseason and all that stuff.
And Helier Matthias here, I agree with this. The last 4 days, there's been no rumors, dude. The rumor mill is as dry as my backyard pond. Only interesting is what Real Madrid have to do to finance Mbappe deal. They have to sell players, but who has the money to buy? Yeah, no, that drama is just exhausting, dude. Kylian Mbappe 3 years ago, said he wanted to leave PSG. What does he do? He signs the biggest contract in the history of the club, aside from maybe Messi, with part ownership in the club. And now he's crying again and wants to go? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but I mean, it does and it doesn't. Everyone knew he wasn't going to be there long term. I think the only thing that PSG have going for them is the fact that the fact that he's French. They made all those concessions and made him like part owner, decision maker, whatever it is. But he's too good of a player to be in the French league. And the fact that they had Neymar and brought in Messi, it's like, okay, like I'll stick around, right? But at this point, Neymar looks likely to leave. Messi's already gone. What are you going to stay there for? You can't win a Champions League by yourself. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
It's not hard
Did
to
you
win
see
the French
the
league.
league rankings?
I did.
I think you may have sent it to me.
Yeah, I did. So they had Premier League, Bundesliga number 2, La Liga number 3, number 4, Portuguese
No, no, no,
league.
no, 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 no. They had the Premier League. They had the Italian league.
Oh,
Number
right,
2.
right. Then the Bundesliga or La Liga 3 and 4 in
Something
some
like
order.
that. Long story short, I think the French league was like 7th. It
Yeah,
was
they were
under
behind another league. I think it was Portuguese
they
or
were
Brazil.
under they were under the Belgian Pro League
That's right.
and Eredivisie, guys. That's how poor. I mean, again, this is just one ranking, but that's how poor the French league is.
I mean, if you ever watch it, it's plain as day how bad it is. It's so poor.
But what's crazy is there's so much talent in that league. There
Right,
is
but I think
so
it's
much
like
talent.
PSG is the only club that has a squad full of talent.
False.
The
I feel like Lyon has tons of talent, raw talent all over the place. Nice has tons of good players. Um, See, I am very biased towards this. I don't know why. Now, I'm not saying the French league as a whole is great, but you have like 3 or 4 teams that have just tons of talent, in my opinion.
I would agree with that, but I don't think they're full of talent. I think it's very top heavy. I think there's of the other 17 clubs that we haven't mentioned, there may be 1 or 2 players that are like really good. Also, when you look at those players, like that squad, like Lyon, that has a bunch of raw talent, you know that those players are getting ready to leave. They're thinking about their next move. It's not a long-term
Right.
like placement for any of these guys. So
No,
I
it
think
never
that
is.
it just goes to show you that league is just not good.
Yeah, before his move to AC Milan, Christian Pulisic was linked with Olympic Lyon.
I thought they sold him for way less than he should have.
Dude, talk about a career that's. I mean, American players are starting to make bigger and bigger moves, and I think the move to AC Milan is actually a pretty good move for him. Um, but what the hell did he do at Chelsea?
I think he got
Not
burned.
a damn thing.
He didn't play enough.
How long was he there? 4 years? 3 years?
I'm not sure, but there were times where it was almost like he didn't exist. They would put Mason Mount playing left wing over him. When he
Damn.
plays for the U.S. national team, he's like a striker.
No, and he's incredible. He's I think he just passed. Didn't he just pass Donovan as the highest score ever?
I'm not sure, but he's the real deal. And I'm not just saying that because we have bias, because we're American.
Yeah.
But you'll see. You'll see this year.
No,
If
he's
he
great.
plays, if he can stay fit and he can play 30 games, he will put up numbers.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not really fit. But here, let's share the screen here. We were talking a little bit about Romeo Lavia, and then of course Levi Colwill. We'll get into that in a little bit. That saga is pretty interesting because again, we need homegrown talent. Now, the homegrown talent rules are a little weird, and I don't completely understand them. I'll put it at about 80% understanding. But I think it's one, if you have a player come through the academy, they're obviously homegrown. 2, if they're English, they're homegrown and you buy them under a certain age, or you could just buy them at any time. Again, this comes back to the 80% thing. 3, if you own a player under a certain age for a certain amount of time. Okay. So those are the 2 things, or the 3 things. But let's look at Levi Colwill, not Levi Colwill, but this article here for a second. Okay. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on some of those points, but Liverpool need homegrown talent because I think they're going to go into preseason with 25 people. They're bringing Ben Doak, which is Klopp said he's bringing Ben Doak to Singapore. Okay. And so with Klopp bringing Ben Doak to Singapore, there's homegrown talent right there. But bringing in Lavia, who could be English, would satisfy the homegrown thing after a certain extent. He'll become homegrown after a certain amount of time. Levi Colwill, again, another player that would be counted as homegrown. But I'm also seeing links that we have to let somebody go, Steve. And with the Thiago rumors now circling, this could get interesting. So let me share my screen.
Did we say happy birthday to Doug yet?
Happy birthday to Doug.
Happy birthday, Doug. Legend. Go check out his channel, the Dugout Football Channel.
Yeah, Doug. Oh, yeah. And he's going to be a dad here soon.
Yes, he is. Lots of exciting stuff happening for him.
Shout out to
By
Doug.
the way, we're at 9.9K subscribers. We're close.
We are so close to 10K, guys. We are so painstakingly close to 10K. So let's share the channel, like the video, share the stream, whatever you got to do. Let's get to 10K because, man, that's a huge milestone.
There's like 40-something people in here watching right now. If you're not subscribed, it takes one click. Please do so.
It's completely
We're close.
free.
We're close.
Takes no effort at all. None at all. And we'd love you for it. So now, shout out to Scott Barkley as well and Osea in here, asking if we think Liverpool will sign more players. Well, stay tuned, my friend, because we're about to get into that. So, Liverpool expect to beat Chelsea to 50 million beast as replacement for Galatasaray-bound star. I think the Galatasaray-bound star is referring to Thiago, who the links with him moving to Galatasaray. With, by the way, Mario Icardi should be on his way to Galatasaray. So a lot going on. But look, here's the deal. Lavia has been linked with Arsenal and Chelsea as well as Liverpool this summer after his impressive displays in his debut season for Southampton. A report last week claimed that Liverpool had cooled their interest in Lavia as there is no gap to fill in their squad. But there could soon be, with Thiago linked with a move to Galatasaray. Turkish publication Fanatic report that Galatasaray president Erden Timur has held talks with the Spaniard over a move and has made a very good offer that Thiago is welcome. And Steve, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that it's unlikely he'll leave. I agree with that. I'd be very surprised if we sold Thiago. However, it could happen. Report adds that Timur has also held talks with Liverpool to find out the conditions needed to sign the former Barcelona star in this window. And Romano, our boy, claimed on Friday that Liverpool believe they can find a way to land Lavia using a creative formula. And Football Insider now report that the deal is expected to be agreed. Southampton even rejected a £50 million deadline day bid for Lavia from Chelsea last summer, having signed the teenager from Manchester City for $11 million earlier in the window. Okay,
Wow.
What? That's illegal.
Is it?
You can't change teams in the middle of the same window. There's a 6-month rule, isn't there?
I have no idea. But 50 million, at least up front, isn't happening.
50 million for this guy.
I think if we really want him, we'll get him. But I don't think Thiago's going anywhere.
Yeah, me neither.
He's already said he wants to stay. It seems like he's focused on Liverpool. He's already back at the training center. And also losing Milner, Ox, Keita, people that know the system. Like, I don't think it makes sense. Like, we need midfield quality, but also depth. So if you get Lavia and remove Thiago, like, I don't know if that makes us better.
No, it doesn't, because that would be 5 players out and 3 in.
Right.
The math doesn't add up, people. So that's that, basically.
He's not, and he's also not worth much, to be honest, Thiago.
Now,
What'd we get Thiago for? 30 million?
27.
Okay. And it's been what, 3 seasons?
Yeah.
2.5?
He has 1 more year on his contract, which is the only thing that makes me think that maybe Liverpool are trying to recoup some of the money that they spent on him, because he's been injured for probably 33%, 1/3 of his time here. Maybe more.
I think they could also just extend him, which I've heard rumors of. But who knows? If they extend him for a year, then we don't have to deal with this problem until next year.
Yeah, I know, but do you want to extend him? Because he's already, 33, 32?
Extend him a year so that
also,
his
happy
values
birthday to
holds
Van
up.
Dijk. Everyone's birthday's today.
I didn't know that.
Van Dijk's 32, bro. Is that scary or what?
It is.
God.
I mean, he played his first year here. He played 28 matches. Second year, 35 out of like a possible 65.
Yeah.
And then last year, 23 out of a possible 50.
That's a shame.
He's probably missed 50% of games, but still he's good. Keep him. I say keep him.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything for him. Extend him by a year and sell him next year if you have to. But you're not going to get much for him. You're not going to get anything for him that's going to change who we can get. What would you get for Thiago at this point? 15 million?
Yeah, I think with his quality, you could sell him for 20. I do.
But that 20 million is not going to change anything in the grand scheme of things for this window. It's not like, oh, we come up on 20 million, now we can buy so and so. Which again, it's not going to make us better if we sell Thiago for 20 million and get Lavia. I don't think it's going to make us better.
God. And Barkley, I'm talking about if we sell players, not loan them out. And that's if Thiago leaves, because right now 4 players are out. That's it. Pretty sure.
Ross says we let 2 injury regulars go. Why not a third?
That's the big thing. Shout out to
Well,
Oyvind. Good morning.
I think there's a few different parts to the answer to this, in my opinion. One is experience, knowing the system,
Yeah.
being a leader, right? He's won every trophy there is. Quality when he's fit. And with these other signings that we have that are going to play, not to mention who else we get, Thiago won't have to be a regular player. So theoretically, that could keep him a little bit more fresh.
And anyway, at this point in his career, he'd probably be a depth piece too, not like a regular starter.
Right, but I can see him playing a huge role, especially in the Europa League.
No, of course, of course. He might start every game in the Europa League.
I could
He
see
might
that.
play every FA Cup game. He might play every League Cup. League Cup, maybe not, but FA Cup, definitely.
Another thing that we're going to do this year, which I've read about and obviously makes sense, is we're going to rotate to keep people fresh. Right? Think about like left wing. Right? You got Jota, Darwin,
Sepp Vandenberg.
Seb Vandenberg, Gakpo, all these players. You can't play them all. So we're going to rotate there. We're going to rotate in the midfield as well. It's not going to be, Fabinho, McAllister, Dom every match. You're not going to do that. We need bodies.
I know.
Think about let's just say we're playing Chelsea in, 33 days time. It's 0-0 at half, which it always is against Chelsea. Like you're going to want to bring Thiago on in the 60th minute for some creativity. Like
Yeah, it just
that's what
reminds
he
me of his
is.
debut.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. So I think Oyvind brings up a good point here. He says the difference how we talk about Thiago now and a year ago is crazy. And so, look, nothing changes. Thiago is still absolute quality, probably one of the most creative and just talented midfielders we have. Now, granted, I haven't seen Szoboszlai and McAllister play yet for the club. But, dude, Steve, what's the best Jesus, I always do that. What's the best ability?
Availability, of course.
And so when you're playing 20 out of 50 games a season, 30 out of 60 games, what do we have to go on? Like, you can't be trusted. It's like someone who shows up to work half the time. Now, granted, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that he gets injured. It's completely different. But that doesn't change the fact that you're giving this guy nearly 200,000 pounds a week, and he's not available.
Well, that's the thing. It's the wages. But the return on what you'd get for selling him, I mean, players go for more in August, late July, August, because things are up against the clock. Other teams have had links and they determine, crap, we need somebody now. They may overpay a little bit, but I just don't think the return is worth it. To me, Thiago is worth letting go on a free for playing 50% of games this year, regardless of his wages.
That might be a good point. I think it is a good point. I agree with that. Keep Thiago this season. and we'll see what happens with Lavia. Now, Levi Colwill is another one because, again, Liverpool looking to get into the center back market. But Levi Colwill, according to Pochettino, as well as Fabrizio Romano, everything's clear. At the moment, Fabrizio Romano has reported he is staying at Chelsea. They have no intent to sell him. Okay, he's had a great season at Brighton. He looks like a great option for Liverpool, but they have no intent to sell him. With Koulibaly leaving, Thiago Silva, he's gone now, right, too?
I have no idea.
I don't know what's going on.
You can't keep up with them, dude.
Yeah,
there's no way you can keep up with them. And
I
also
way too many.
Shout out to Koulibaly, by the way. We were linked with him for a long time.
Yeah, and then he comes to Chelsea, and we realize he's terrible.
Well, everybody was terrible there last year, but he's not the player he once was. But he had an interview, I think, last week where he said, "I'm literally going to Saudi for the money." He's building like a clinic or a hospital or something. He wants to set his family up forever, help out his, village or wherever he's from. So I just love that he was like brutally honest about it.
Yeah.
Like, no need to beat around the bush.
No,
he knows he only has a few years left, and he wants to capitalize on that.
Yeah, so, cash out.
Shout out to him. He's always a guy also that you don't really hear much about. Like, he's just he's kind of a legend.
Almost feels like he played for Liverpool for a little bit, doesn't it?
Dude, I like him. You can't say that about many Chelsea players.
No. He was only at Chelsea for a year, though, right?
1 year.
How crazy is that?
Yep. What about Sterling? Is he still there?
Yeah. Team is someone who said it. They're just chaotic.
Dude, Chelsea just let Pulisic go for 22 million, give or take. They could have sold him for 50 or 60 the last 2 years.
22 million?
22 million.
They bought him for what? 60?
Something like that. And they could have sold him for somewhere in that range. And they sold him for 22 because they just have a fire sale.
Well, they have to. They have to have a fire sale to stay within the financial fair play regulations because they brought in 11 players.
They're not done.
No.
They haven't gotten Caicedo yet, right?
They might need another left back.
I don't think they've gotten Caicedo yet. That's going to happen.
That'll happen. They just got Nkunku. They sold Jorginho. They lost Conte. They have a lot of it's crazy what Chelsea do.
Yeah, 22 million.
Wait, so this is news to me. So I haven't even looked at this. I even said garage sale.
Actually, there was a garage sale event in my neighborhood yesterday.
There
was 20. I think they do this every year. There's 20 garage sales.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of neighborhoods do that. I know my parents' neighborhood did that for a while, where it's everyone, the homeowners associate, not whatever it's called, but yeah. No, I think it's absolutely hilarious though. Garage sale. That is an underrated comment.
Do they have those everywhere? All around the world?
Sale. Oh yeah, is garage sale a universal term?
We call it yard sale.
Well, garage or yard sale.
Or estate sale.
Oh no, estate sales. No one says.
Well, let me educate you. No, I'm just kidding.
Back in 1930. Yeah. So
I'm sure your dad's got a descriptive analysis on the history of garage sales and yard sales.
There's no question.
If you do, Scott, let us know.
Yeah, no.
Give us the background, the historical, traditional breakdown of the evolution of garage sales and yard sales, if you can.
Please.
You must know something.
Now, Knights Templar says Lavia played 18 games last season. 18. And now, according to Brighton, he's worth 50 million. Wait, Brighton? Why are we talking about Brighton? You mean Southampton? 18 games? I don't know if I believe that. Steve, you're good at this. Look up how many games he played, please.
Who?
Lavia.
Oh.
SA Scouser says they will sell Lukaku and bring in a top striker. Still talking about Chelsea.
32 matches in all comps. 29 Prem. 3 in the EFL Cup, 1 goal, 1 assist in all comps.
How many total appearances?
32.
32. And how many in the Premier League?
29. But let's see how many starts. 26 starts in the Premier League. That's pretty good.
Where you get? All right, Knights Templar. Come on, man. Be better. All right. What do we got here? Nick Red says in Malaysia we call it a karboot sale. Boot sales too. Boot sale. That's a new one. Tag sale. Huh. Nick Red says Osimhen for Chelsea. Could you imagine?
Laughing at your mom's comment too. Oh, also, side note, I'm gonna drop this. You guys are gonna answer me in the chat, and then we're gonna move on. Is Russia part of 2 continents? That's the question. I know the answer. Let us know.
I think this is my opinion. Geographically, it's one continent. But when you think about what Russia's involved in, tournament-wise and all that, you'd think it falls into both Europe and Asia. But geographically, I think the cutoff is Russia.
All right. Well, there's no opinions here. It's either yes or no.
Oh, no, there are opinions, sir.
There's no. It's a fact. It's the only transcontinental country, right? Country.
It's just interesting. It is 70% Asian, USSR.
Kyle Dunn says, any of you guys think Lavia is a smokescreen? I could see that.
For who?
Something. For Valverde, Tchouaméni.
Valverde is not coming.
If they get Mbappe, they have to let one of those guys go.
That's not true. You're making that up.
That's what I think. That's not factual.
This is not opinions.
No. If Russia is in 2 continents, that's either a yes or a no. But if I think that,
then yes.
Okay, I agree. But this is a talk show. I can tell you, I think that it could be a smokescreen for someone of that caliber. If Mbappe comes in, they're going to have to spend a lot of money, not to mention the wages. The wages are going to be, he's going to make $1 million a week. £1 million. What euros? A week.
Look, Valverde, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. So let me just hit you with some facts. All right. So Valverde said he sees himself as a future captain at Real Madrid. Okay. As much as I want him, Steve, and we've been linked with him and apparently submitted a bid and it was rejected, all that nonsense, he's not coming. Tchouaméni, however, is very heavily linked away from the club. Ever since he got there, he's being linked away with the club. So imagine if we got Tchouaméni. How would you feel about that?
That's fine. I'd rather have Valverde. But
So
Valverde's less defensive, so I don't.
No. What you just said doesn't make sense. So I asked you, how would you feel about having Tchouaméni? And you said, that's fine. I'd rather have Valverde.
I think it's fine if we get Tchouaméni.
Oh, okay.
How do I feel about it? That's fine. That's great. Good. Thank you. But I'd rather have Valverde. The only problem is we need someone more on the defensive side. I think Tchouaméni is. I think Valverde, we've seen him play like right wing. He's like a Soboslai, but he's also a box-to-box guy like McAllister. We don't need another one of those guys. But if you have the chance to get one,
and
you have your choice,
a defensive midfielder?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone keeps saying that we don't need another box-to-box. I feel like Tchouaméni's not a box-to-box.
I think he's both. A defensive-minded box-to-box. You can never have too many box-to-boxes.
True.
Fabinho's out-and-out defensive. We know that. We've seen him play center back, right back.
Yeah.
But Tchouaméni can play that defensive role.
We have been out for Tchouaméni since before he moved from Monaco. But I agree. Who said it? Madrid just signed that Turkish star, not Turkish, whoever they just signed from
Yeah.
Fenerbahce, just signed him. They just extended Dani Ceballos. They got Valverde, Cruz, Modric extended. Where's this guy going to play?
I don't know if Cruz
Camavinga,
and Modric is extended yet, but I think they're going to if they haven't.
Bellingham. They have so many midfielders. So,
And half of them are worth nothing. So if you're going to bring in Mbappe, you because I don't think Camavinga is going anywhere.
no.
You would move on from Valverde or Tchouaméni, and I think Tchouaméni is probably more likely. And they got him for what, 80, 88?
Tchouaméni?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you could get him for less than that.
Yeah, I think we could probably get him for about 60 now.
All right, so here's a perfect example. Perfect question for you. Would you rather get Tchouaméni for 60 or 65 or Lavia for 45?
Tchouaméni, 100%.
Yeah, it's no question. So hopefully we are I'm sure we're thinking about those types of things internally.
So, what about defenders? Do you think if we get will we sign, this is the last thing I'll leave you with, Steve. Will we sign 4 players in the same window?
Yes. One more midfielder and a central defender, as Ross is saying here.
Yeah.
For a combined 100 million. One way or the other.
We need a central defender. I agree. I don't think Van Dijk, Kanate, Matip, Gomez, and Phillips are good enough. We need one more. We need one more central defender. If just one of those players gets injured, it screws everything up. Yeah, we have been linked with Schurz from Ajax or wherever he's at now. He might be at Bologna or Cagliari, wherever he went. Maybe he's still at Ajax. I can't remember.
We don't need to do anything groundbreaking. Just get solid. Just get a solid player. Get a solid player that starts for a smaller club to be in the rotation. Or get somebody great, even better. But I'm not going to hold my breath for them to drop 70 million on a center back.
No, I don't think so either. That's why I thought Levi Colwill would have been a very good signing, but it looks like he's staying at Chelsea. We're also being linked. That's a good point. Scouser says Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace, Torino. That's right. Thanks, Ross. But they said Gahey, after the season he had, will be 60 plus.
That's what Ross is saying here too.
Yeah.
Phillips might be sold. If Phillips is sold, we have to get somebody.
Yeah, but Phillips is only going for like 10 million. You know what I mean?
Right, but he'll play a role this year in some way, whether it's 3 matches.
Yeah.
In a cup game, he'll play a role. If you're going to move on from him, you have to replace him.
So who do you have in mind? Anyone?
I want Laporte. We talked about this last week. Left-footed Laporte. Not going to cost you a ton. Has experience. Has battled injuries over the years. Isn't going to get regular game time at City after the signings they've made with the reemergence of Nathan Ake. I think, isn't Cancelo coming back?
As far as I know.
Left back. Laporte's played left back before. So it's going to be tough for him to find game time. I would love to see that happen. An under-the-radar signing that just pops up. Liverpool get left-footed center back Aymeric Laporte for 25 million.
Yeah,
and then Lavia or Tchouaméni, and then see ya.
That would be a perfect window. That's all we need.
Yep.
That's all we need. And I agree. I don't think Man City will sell to Liverpool. I don't. I mean, I don't think you'll sell directly to the club you're competing against because they know Liverpool are really the club they're competing against.
Right. But at the end of the day, we talked about this last week. I don't think City care who they sell to.
I do. I don't think Chelsea care who they sell
No,
to.
Chelsea. Well, they don't have a choice. But I
Yeah.
don't think City's that picky because there's no tradition, passion, loyalty there.
No, none.
It's just put the best possible team out there every week. Laporte's just not part of that. And he probably wouldn't be part of ours either. But if you have Laporte and um, Matip as your third and fourth choice, take that all day. Gomez is your fifth choice. Phillips is your sixth choice. And Laporte can play on the left side if we do that hybrid role where we transform into a back three. Imagine Robbo goes down. You can't count on Tsimikas to play the left side of a back three when we switch Trent into midfield when we're attacking. So I think it makes sense. Not going to happen. Haven't seen any links, but you asked me who do I want? That's what I want.
I like it. I like it. And guys, we appreciate your input in the chat here. We did get a late start today, so it is a shorter show. Apologies, but things happen. And Steve, do you have any closing thoughts? I know you kind of just told me what you want in terms of players, but do you just have any general thoughts about whether it was Curtis Jones' performance or, how the club are going about business or the players even being back at the AXA Training Center to the start of preseason? What do you think, man?
Well, hopefully this time next week when we talk, we've made another signing. I'd like to see something happen this week. If you can get 3 out of 4 done before you play that first real preseason match, which is against, I was just looking at it. We play on, I think we play in like Wednesday maybe, or like next weekend. There's 2 matches against Firth and somebody else. And then we play, I want to say like maybe Bayern, Leicester, something like a bigger club.
I think Leicester might be like our last match or something like that.
Yeah. There's a couple like legitimate-ish preseason matches coming up. If we could get one more in before that, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And I bet you that our sporting director team isn't sleeping. It's just
No.
not happening as fast as we want, but that's not how it works. So
Yeah, no, but that's fine. I mean, you got to get business done, but smart business, not stupid business. Dermot, we talked about Valverde a little bit. Valverde, reports suggest that we submitted a bid. There's also other reports out there that just said he wants to stay. He sees himself as a future captain at Real Madrid. And I can't see us getting him either, even though I want him. He'd be the perfect signing. But Tchouaméni, to me, seems like a more likely option, even though he's being linked with Arsenal as well. But go ahead and watch that back. Guys, thank you again for your support. 90 plus people in here. Love every single one of you guys. Thanks for all that you do, all your comments. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 10,000, and it goes a long way into pushing the channel out to more people trying to find this type of content. So thanks again, Reds, and until next time, take care.